Sakamoto Days. This is Sakamoto Days, chapter 215, Sea of Corpses. Last we left off with Sakamoto Days. Shin has been going up against X. He's been fighting him, trying desperately not to give off any bloodlust because the bloodlust would inevitably summon the Takamura personality from X's arsenal, and Shin would not be able to beat that OP motherfucker. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful in keeping bloodlust away from X, and the Takamura personality is fully emerged as they sit in this aquarium. We open up this chapter as X is getting closer to Shin. Shin is wondering how long he can last against Mr. Takamura, but he has no choice. He has to man up and go for it. Immediately, fucking X cuts off a pillar in like quadrisections where Shin's like, oh my god, even looking into the future, I can barely track his movements. He's like, I can't believe Nagumo and Mr. Sakamoto fought this beast without ESP. And he realizes that if he loses focus for a split second, it'll be instant death. Right there, he gets slashed by X, and he's kind of surprised that he managed to keep his ear from that attack. He just jumps down into the nearest vat of water, and he ends up in the seal tank. Unfortunately for him, X tracks him down pretty immediately and breaks him out of it. It's not bueno. The kids around this aquarium, who are apparently still here after all of this, are crying now. And one of the adults is like, hey, you made my kid cry. And X is like, what? He turns over, and all of a sudden, before he can act, I guess, on killing these guys, Shin makes his presence known right behind him and draws his attention. What seems to be an attack towards Shin actually turns out to be a guy behind Shin with his gun drawn. He gets cut, he gets beheaded, but also so does his gun. It feels very difficult to cut a gun in this way, but he beheads this gun as well. And Shin is surprised, like, who is this guy? And the guy who just got his head cut off doesn't even seem to realize that his head is cut off. He's like, but I was just trying to support you, Master X. And the other henchman is like,
it's literally impossible.
Yeah,
because his lungs disconnected. Yeah. It's okay.
Yo, the other henchmen are like, no, Kato! We came here to help because we heard you were fighting Master X. But unfortunately, Takamura is reacting to his bloodlust. The head is still talking. The head hasn't realized that he's been beheaded. You see a little panel where he's like, guys, and then X just golf swings his head so hard.
He said, guys.
He hits him so hard with the side of his sword, like a golf club, that he completely obliterates another guy. It's fucking crazy. The head causes this guy to get split in half. And these, one by one, these henchmen are getting fucking sliced and diced. Shin is like, what am I going to do now? Do I try hijacking his thoughts to stop him? Will it even work? Or if I fail, it's over. And he starts to imagine himself also beheaded alongside the other guy. And he's just like, yikes. And Shin's like, man, I need backup yesterday. He walks through this tunnel, this really cool tank tunnel thing. And as he's walking, one of the henchmen sinks down below and faces him. And he is now surrounded by a tank of bodies and blood. Shin is like, God damn, no. he can't even register what's happening before X emerges again from the top of the ceiling tank thing, busts a hole through it, and is approaching Shin at full force. Shin starts to think to himself, like, keep your cool and freeze him with ESP. If Mr. Takamura senses bloodlust from me, if his sword moves faster than my ESP, I'm dead. And then Shin notices that there are bystanders who didn't get out. And he's like, shit, it's okay. I've got to delay him. At least until Mr. Sakamoto shows up, I got to create a brief opening and strike with everything I got. And the chapter ends in a 2-page spread. Right as Shin tells him to freeze, even the speech bubble gets cut by Takamura. And it seems that Shin is possibly dead ski. But we don't know. That is where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Sakamoto Days chapter 215?
RGC.
Whoa.
For me this week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, what can I say? The chapter was gas. I mean, Takamura was chasing shit around a fucking aquarium. It was intense. It was hilarious. And the best art of the week, in my opinion, without a doubt. So, yeah, I had to give it to Sakamoto. I mean, Shin's not dead. Maybe he's seen the future.
Yeah, maybe he is just seeing the future.
Knew that couldn't happen. But, like, with that said, right? If you notice, see how he slashed the speech bubble?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more than just a comic effect. I think he's displaying at what point of him saying freeze did his neck get sliced before he even finished saying it.
Mm-hmm.
So right at the end, he was so close to finishing that last E, like the E. He got slashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit might be done.
Who knows? Now that you think about it, he may be just seeing the future.
He's probably seeing the future.
Next chapter, he's just dead.
God.
And that's just the rest of Sakamoto Days.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, the reason I gave this to RGC is because I kept arguing with myself, like, all right, what's going to be panel of the week? What's going to be panel of the week? And all of the options were in this, like, majority of them were in this chapter. And, like, I think the number one has to be the guy's head getting chopped off and he's still talking. He's just like, but why? Like, I was just trying to help you. Like, it's either that one or after X stabs through the top of the tank and you see like all like the water, but like it's drenched with blood just coming down, and it's like X like with it splashing on him. That was pretty fucking sick. That's page 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, loved it. Brian, what were your thoughts?
This chapter, I know last week I said this is like prime Sakamoto Days, but this chapter, oh my god, I was actually rolling. Usually at this point in the series, a lot of shonen manga would like sacrifice humor for like really serious story beats and story moments. This series just keeps piling it on. This whole shit was so fucking stupid with the guy's head. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? The fact that X hit him with a hole in one was actually so fucking funny. And
it wrecked him too. She didn't just like knock him out. It fucking like shot through him. That's gonna be on Death Battle one day. They're gonna have X fight somebody, some other psychopath with multiple personalities, right? And that's gonna be reference to why this nigga's gonna win. Because that's the amount of strength it probably takes to do some shit like that. It's like super. It's probably Super Saiyan level shit.
Mm.
Yeah, and it
X might be a
just,
Saiyan.
And sorry, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Hold on. Let me try and find the chapter real quick.
You were saying how a lot of series tend to do less humor and more serious moments.
Yeah, and I also found it pretty funny how when Shin was also thinking about getting decapitated, the eye, like the head, was also looking down at him because it was still alive, even in his imagination. And yeah, this was a pretty fun chapter. I really liked everything that this guy's doing right now with Sakamoto Days. It's a nice breath of relief, you know what I mean, after the prison arc, which was probably my least liked arc so far. But this is pretty cool, pretty fun stuff. More like it. Sakamoto Days, keep it up. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
I also enjoyed this chapter quite a bit. I don't know if it's my RGC, but it's very close. I think it is my kind of second place, if anything. Yeah, just seeing Shin do literally everything he can just to kind of survive is kind of crazy. I did miss a lot of like the menace that Takamura brought to the story. I was very like concerned that like after he died we wouldn't really get that anymore, but it's good that we still have that to some degree, even though it is through X. Although he does lose a couple menacing points because Takamura's character design was just like so chilling a lot of the time, and it's just not the same with X. But it's still the same kind of threat, and it's really cool to see. I'm very curious to see if this is. To see if this actually means that Shin. I don't think Shin died. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I'm still. There's like a part of me that's like a little cautious about. It's like, oh, did he just kill Shin?
No, he definitely like, because Shin could read people's bloodlust. You know what I mean? Like he's done it with Sakamoto several times, where he kind of reads Sakamoto's mind and Sakamoto's killing him. So this is probably that. Just used for a nice little cliffhanger, but
Yeah.
I'm 100% confident that Shin is okay.
Yeah.
There's zero chance he's dead.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this chapter. A lot of really fun action as usual. Very funny in the middle there. But yeah, I thought this 2-page spread with the bodies in the tank is so cool and very creative. I feel like this is very prime Sakamoto days where he would just create these like action movie shots that are really cool and really dynamic. So I thought this chapter was really great. That's all I really got to say about Sakamoto days.